All right. Back again, real quick turnaround. Here on Trafford Talk. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. Welcome, Kyrie, Alexi. You're going to join me for the chat today. We're going to talk about the FA Cup. So I kind of just want to get it started and kicked off with the first big question that I think has been, I kind of go what's going on social, what everybody's saying is, should we prioritize the league or should we go for it? Is this game important enough for us to potentially sacrifice our league position? My view on it is we're Manchester United. You should be going to win every game. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be rotating. Our squad is deep, very deep. It's not the days of Andreas Pereira and, Jesse Lingard and having to bring those guys in. It's now the days of Martial or Greenwood, like Rashford, Cavani. You have four guys on the front line you can switch in between. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. In my opinion, I think we need to go for this game for a couple of reasons. Outside of this, the rotation, I also believe it'll hurt Liverpool's confidence even further in the league. People are talking about Liverpool as if they're dead in the water completely. They're not. They're only 5 points behind. So if they can get a big win against United, that galvanizes the squad. You go back in the league, you bring that form over, you might put them back in the race. What's your thoughts on it, Alexi? How do you feel? What way do you think we should be going?
Do you know what? I think you're completely right about the kind of making a statement thing. I think we've not beaten Liverpool at home for a few years and they're in complete disarray at the moment. I watched them the other night and they were absolutely terrible. And I think sometimes, even though it's a cup game, you need to go out there and make a statement. And beating Liverpool tomorrow it wouldn't send a complete message that things are shifting, but it would say, look, we're here now, we're serious. We've beaten you. We're 6 points ahead of you in the league. This is a big shift. But I still think we'll go for it more than they do, because they've got Tottenham on Thursday, which is a very tough game. But I think we can rest players, but still put out a really good team. So we could rest 4 or 5 players and still put out a really good team, which, like you said, was not the case a year ago, because a year ago it was Lingard, it was Pereira. And now suddenly it's like, oh, you could have Cavani, Greenwood, Van der Beek. It's a lot deeper squad, helps situations like this. But I just think beating them tomorrow would would rub it into them further, the mess they're in. But it also, weirdly, it's not even, when I think about this game, I'm not even thinking about, progressing in the cup, which of course is important. But let's be honest, it's Liverpool. We want to beat Liverpool. Mm-hmm. We want to send a statement that things are changing and things will change, and that could set a marker for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree. Kyrie, what are your thoughts?
I think basically both what you guys said was correct. We're Man United. We always want to win trophies, so I think we should go for it. We've got a big enough squad and we've got good enough players to rotate and still have a good squad out there to win the game. So I think we should prioritize both, because we have got, like you said, we haven't got Lingard and Pereira and these players, and we've got better players, Van der Beek, players that with quality. So I think if we bring these players in, Van der Beek, like Cavani, Greenwood, we can beat Liverpool. And like you said, we're 6 points ahead right now in the league. If we beat them tomorrow, who knows what it could do to their league form. They could lose if they lost against Tottenham and we beat Sheffield United. That's 9 points, and they could just keep going down, and we could get more momentum and just push on.
Dope. Yeah. Just going to do some admin again for everybody watching. Got some people in the house. Like, share, comment, get involved in the conversation. Subscribe to the channel. So both of you have mentioned one player who I believe needs to start. I'm definitely not one of those people. I will never be one of those people who cares who gets selected. As long as we're winning, we're winning. I'm not a free Donny van de Beek person, but this is the perfect opportunity for him. Because if I'm going to be completely honest and unbiased and none of this like, oh, we bought Donny van de Beek and we're not using him, X, Y, Z, this or that. It's like, when I've seen him play, he's been good, but he hasn't been to the levels of the rest of the midfielders, like the Paul Pogbas or Bruno Fernandes. He hasn't looked like that. and I don't know why that is. It's just maybe he's not the style of player as Bruno. He's a more of a quickly shift and move the ball guy. He doesn't seem like the risk taker that Ollie loves. Ollie's from the old days. He wants the guys who are going to try things that are going to come off. But with Donny van de Beek, do you guys think this could be his opportunity to potentially, put himself on that map for the first team in the league? Because he's clearly not part of the first team in the league. So when I talk about Donny van de Beek, who would you like to see? Because obviously you said his name. Who would you like to see partner him in the midfield for this game coming up?
I think it will. What I think it will be, if it is Donny, which I really hope it is, I think it will be McTominay, Fred, and Donny van de Beek, because I think our approach to this game is going to be very similar to last week. But I think Donny really deserves to play, because the thing is as well, it's completely in our interests to get his confidence up and have him firing, because then if Bruno did get injured, Donny, you go, well, it's awful, but at least Donny's ready to come in. He's confident. He's in form. And I think it is, I don't agree with all the hysteria around it, but I do think it is a bit unfair that he's not been given any opportunity. So, yeah, I think it will be the McFred and Donny, because he plays McFred every big game, doesn't he? It's inevitable. But I think Donny will play alongside them, and I think Bruno will be rested in this game. Every time I think Bruno is going to be rested, he isn't. But I think this time he will be. And it'll be interesting to see how we do without Bruno, because obviously he's just so important. He's like the influence Ronaldo used to have on us. But yeah, I think it'll be McTominay, Fred, and Van der Beek.
Would you like to see Kyrie?
I hope he doesn't go for McFred personally, because I think he uses them too much in big games. I think sometimes he needs to just try and go for it and not play them two. That he plays it safe by playing them two. So I would like to see maybe him play with maybe Pogba or someone in midfield instead of, or maybe if he maybe have a diamond, play Matic. I thought maybe Matic and Pogba might play tomorrow, but I don't know. Obviously, he might play McFred, but I was hoping Matic might get some minutes and maybe play Pogba, because I think Pogba's better in the middle. I know he can do a job out on the left, but I think he's better in the middle. So I would hope to see him with maybe in a diamond, maybe Pogba, Matic, and give McFred a rest. But I think he is going to go for McFred. I don't think Bruno will be rested. As much as I would like to see him have some time to rest, I don't think he's going to be rested. I think he's going to play. I think he wants to play every game, and Oli always says that. He always says he don't want to sit out. So I feel Bruno will play tomorrow as well. Oh, the sound's gone.
I think you're muted.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I just realized I was muted. Okay. Yeah. So I don't.
I thought my AirPods were broken for a
Yeah,
minute.
That's what I thought.
2021. You're on mute. Yeah. So I hope he's rested fully. Ollie's got to be a bit stronger in this situation with Bruno. Bruno seems like he does call the shots when it comes to playing. He does seem like he got mad when he was subbed off in like the 80th minute one game. I couldn't remember. I'm like, dude, the game's done. We won. Relax.
Yeah. He don't like coming off at all.
He doesn't like coming off, and I can respect that. I love that about any player who wants to be on the pitch. When you're doing this well, players want to play. That's just how it is. You want to be there. You want to be part of the success. Like if United win the league, I think Bruno's already going to win Player of the Year, to be honest. But if United win the league, it's a foregone conclusion. If United win the league in an FA Cup and Bruno does well in Portugal in the Euros, he's going to be part of the conversation for Ballon d'Or, plain and simple. Like that's like, and so a player like him,
that's a good point.
You think about it, like nobody's talked about it yet because everyone's tiptoeing around that. Right now, it's Player of the Year is kind of a runaway in my opinion. Like he's clear for me. There's no player who has had the same goal contributions as Bruno Fernandes from midfield. It's insane what he's done, the transformation. But then we have the Euros coming up, and we know that's a big predicator on that big award, right? And if you win the Prem, it's like when you win La Liga and then you win something. That's why Ronaldo and Messi continue, because they win La Liga, they go and they do well in Euros and the Worlds or whatnot, and then it's easy. Also because of this, they're the best players in the world, plain and simple. That's not going to underplay that. I want to see Pogba and Matic play alongside Donny van de Beek. The reason being is because Pogba's in form, really in form. He seems to have recovered from COVID well. Matic can sit behind those two. Like he hasn't played a lot of games. So Matic, the worry that I have with Matic is when he's played like consecutive 2-3 games is when he looks like he has a problem. Is when he looks like somebody I don't trust. But he's fresh, so put him in there, see how it looks. The reason I want Pogba to play is because I believe that gives us the best chance to keep Bruno on the bench. Ollie's going to bring Bruno in if we're losing. Ollie's going to bring Bruno in if the game's going sideways or whatnot. He's going to bring in Rashford regardless because I think Ollie's one for the romantics a bit because Rashford's on a streak of I think it's like 36 or 30 something. Like he's on a streak of record.
Played every game in the Premier.
Played every game in the Premier.
Yeah.
So he's on. I think he might bring him in just for that. He's been bringing him in late, and he always brings in Rashford. But the squad that I'd like to see up outside of the midfield, I'll move on to the attackers because I like to go midfield attackers. I think defense will be the most rotated, to be honest. But the attackers, I still want to see Cavani up front. But because the only reason I say that is I don't think we need to play him against Sheffield United.
True.
So if we're going to play Cavani against Sheffield United, then he shouldn't play this game. But if not, play Greenwood. Play Greenwood up top. Greenwood needs some confidence. A lot of people are saying drop Martial to get him a little bit refreshed. I don't think so. I think Martial just play him on the left. He's got to play his way out of this funk he's in. That's how I look at it. And then bring in Dan James. Bring in Dan James. Play him on the right. Like I get it. I don't like Dan James, but bring him in because that's how you're going to rest Rashford, right? You still need to go for the game, right? You still need to go for the game. Soundboy says, "Who are the faves to win?" If we're going to be honest, right now it has to be United.
It's us. Yeah.
We outplayed them. I don't like saying that because that puts the pressure on us. But we outplayed them. We outplayed them at Anfield. We had the better chances. Like, sure, they had more of the ball, but we had the better chances. And to me, that's more important to football. I'm not saying we are like the heavy favorites by any means. I'm saying it feels like a game on form right now. We're on form, and Klopp disrespects all cup competitions. He doesn't care about them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp comes out and plays a bunch of kids. Or does something wild and doesn't play his team. And that's why I would play like a Greenwood, because if Greenwood's playing against kids, he's going to light them up and get his confidence back for the league. We still don't have Martial or Greenwood on form, the way I look at it.
Once they get back to form, it's going to be crazy. If them two start firing, then it's
a wrap.
It's a wrap for sure.
Because we already have so many match winners, right? And those guys are also considered match winners, in my opinion. Yeah. And I'm loving the reason Pogba seems to be happier now is the weight of United is not all on his shoulders. It used to be Pogba didn't do enough today to help us win. It's like, well, there's a whole team that didn't do enough to help us win. And I'm not player over manager or player over club, but the treatment Pogba got because he wasn't able to do what Bruno did was criminal. It was criminal. So that's part of the reason I want to see Pogba start too, because I want to see Pogba have a big impact on this game as well. If Pogba can knock Liverpool out of it'll be, I believe, if Pogba can knock Liverpool out of the FA Cup, it'll just set us up nicely for the next run of games that we have coming, because we do have a decent run of games. I'm not worried about Sheffield United. And in defense, sorry, your attackers, guys, tell me who you think should be who should the attackers be on to? Because I know you don't like my Dan James selection.
I mean, to be fair, I do like Dan James. I think he gets unfairly treated a bit, and I think in this kind of game he can do quite a good job. But I've still not picked him. I've actually gone for a front three this time, like a conventional front three. So I've gone for Rashford, Greenwood, and Cavani. So the reason for that is Rashford was rested against Fulham on Wednesday, and Martial wasn't. And that suggests to me that I think Rashford's probably a shoe-in for this. I think Cavani's just a no-brainer for me, to be honest. I mean, his performance against Fulham was everything you want from a number 9. It was sensational. He was just brilliant. Like, not even if he hadn't scored, I'd still be saying it's just his movement, the pass and run. It's something we've lacked for so long. And I think Greenwood, I've put Greenwood in because I think he, similar to Martial, I guess, but Greenwood is a man in need of a goal, and a goal in this game would be just huge. And you can come back to the cliche as well. I guess he's a local lad, you know, academy play, he knows what the rivalry means and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know how much that does really transfer, but I guess it's an argument you can make with it.
When you play for United, I think every player in the world knows what this rivalry means. That's the one thing I think.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with that point, the only reason I made that point is just more because of a confidence thing for him. Not that he'd play necessarily any better because it's Liverpool and because he's local, whatever. But I just think if he was to score against Liverpool as an academy player,
Poetic.
confidence shoots up, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kyrie, who are you picking up top?
I think Cavani will play because I think Martial will play up front again in the next league game. So I think Cavani will start up front, and I think either Greenwood or James. I think he's going to go with James. I have a feeling James is going to play because Greenwood started the other night, so I think James is going to play. And then on the left, I think Rashford, because you said obviously Rashford didn't start the last game, so I reckon he'll get the nod on the left, and then Martial will go bench and he'll start the next game. And I think we'll also see that, you know, that kid that we just got. I have a feeling he'll be on the bench.
You think Diallo's gonna see?
I think I'll get bench.
That would be fun. So I like when we've had, like, you know, the Rashford versus Arsenal back in the day when he was a youngster, put two past him. We were supposed to get smashed that game. I remember being like,
the team had out.
Yeah, this was gonna be a tough one. And then Martial, obviously, with his debut against Liverpool, like, it would just be so nice to see Diallo, Mr. Amad Diallo, come in and do exactly that. But the only way that works is if we were up maybe 2-0 or something, and then Ollie's like, I'm just putting out my victory cigar early, looking at Klopp down the line, just being, this is how you use your squad, boy. This is how you use your squad. Because Klopp's always complaining about squad depth, but then he doesn't use his squad. Like,
they make no subs. He never makes subs, really.
Never makes any subs.
He also played pretty much his full team against Aston Villa's, like, under sixes or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, the other week in the FA Cup. Yeah.
Bunch of children who scored a goal against them. That was those kids. Like,
they done well. They done well in that match, considering.
And I think with how vulnerable Liverpool is, you could get away with. And this is a weird thing with the Cavani Martial situation is I wish we could start Cavani every game. I really do at this point. He's definitely our best number 9. That's no disrespect to Martial. I don't think Martial is a true number 9. But he's 33 and he did miss all of last year due to injury. So you're like, you can't risk losing that option because Ollie loves to switch his game. Ollie isn't a system coach, right? He's not like a Klopp or a Pep. He doesn't really play the same way game in, game out. Like against Fulham, we completely switched the game plan, and we were playing wide and whipping in crosses. That's not we don't do that every game, but it was a perfect game plan. As you said, Cavani's movement made it simple for us. He should have scored 2. He had that one where I was like, the header that from Areola. I was like, well done. Well done, good save. So with Cavani, I would love to be able to play him every game, but you just can't. With the defense, I think Telles is going to come in. I think Lindelof will come in. Because now we're learning that Lindelof. I mean, I don't want to be happy about anybody's injuries or anything, but he can't play every game. It used to be Lindelof, Maguire locked in. Now we get to see Bailly, even though Bailly made a mistake on the week during the week. It's going to be Lindelof and Maguire, I think. And then on the right, we'll stick with AWB. We really desperately need
a right back. Yep.
We need some competition for that kid.
We're getting rid of all our right backs. All our right backs have got Dallo out on loan. Got rid of Forsy Mensah, and he's loaned out that young kid. Laird. All we've got is Brandon Williams as the backup, really. Who
we were supposed to loan out too. Exactly. And I kind of wish we did.
We can't now.
I was really excited about the Max Aarons rumors. That'd have been nice.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. And I heard we're looking at Trippier as well.
Yeah, and then Trippier got caught up in some gambling.
He's got banned, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's banned for 10 games, so we can't. We couldn't do that one.
Some gambling scandal. I didn't look into it, but I was looking forward to that too because Trippier would have been somebody who he would have known what it meant to play for United because he's an English lad.
Very good crosser as well.
Good crosser of the ball. He's an English lad. Knows what it means to be at United, and he wouldn't need game time every game because I think he would recognize, well, I'm 28. I don't need to play every game. But the guy had to go, I don't know, bet on his own team or something.
And I reckon it would help Wan-Bissaka as well, like with crossing, etc. Like I remember Wan-Bissaka could get some experience, like learn off him. So I reckon that would be good.
Which is something he's absolutely not good at.
He's getting better though. He's getting a bit better at though. Credit to him, he's getting a bit better at the crossing. Obviously, he's not 100%, but sometimes there's so much space certain games. I'm watching him. He's going up the line, and instead of trying to cross in, he always turns back and passes. Sometimes there's so much space to just whipping across, and I'm thinking, there's space there. Like use the space. Like you see, I don't know what like. It's just like, I think
on right hand side,
but
yeah.
Our right hand side as well has been a problem for about 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah. We need a right.
Not having enough attacking threat.
I think in the summer though we're going to get someone. I reckon we're going to go and buy someone. We have to.
So yeah, because they're already talking about sending Pellistri out on loan. So that means clearly Ollie hasn't seen enough from him. No. He seems to like Diallo, but you can't trust a 19-year-old, which he'll be next year. I'm going to say it out loud. I still think Sancho's going to be a United player next year. I'm not going to lie. I think at this point, I just don't know who else is going to go in for him. One, like for the cost, for the price. Sure. Dortmund will drop their price at this point. They'll have to.
I heard it's dropped.
Like they can't in their right minds be like 120 million. You're like, yo, man had one really good year, and now he's having a decent year. He still I think has like 15 goal contributions or something like that. But he would be that natural,
of course,
fit for United. English lad who knows what it means. He'll get to put one on his old squad City and Pep, who in my opinion kind of disrespected his growth. He'd be the perfect fit. And but the worry is, so I don't know about you, when I watch your AWB play, I find that defenders are like, go ahead, dribble so I can pick it off you. Like they don't back it. They're like, it's almost like they're daring him to get past them. They're just like,
They invite him.
Like on the left side, you see Shaw, especially Telles. Like Telles is a different breed. Like Telles is like a midfielder playing left back. When this guy's on the ball, he looks so smooth. He just looks smooth. You're like, you're never worried about. It looks like he's gonna dribble past whoever, and he's just gonna whip that cross in. Defensively, he's a little bit suspect, but I would love to see that kind of juxtaposition on both sides where you have a really good ball playing right back and then you have really good defending. Shaw's been our best left back. Shaw's been potentially, I think, the best.
He's one of the best players for us this season. He's been excellent.
He might be one of the best left backs in the league right now.
He is. He's definitely top three. Definitely
top three. I think at the moment. I'd still put Robo ahead of him because he's been one of the decent players. And I do want to talk about a few of the danger men in the Liverpool side. But I think like Robo and Chilwell's been decent too, but I'd put Shaw right up there with them.
Of course.
I think his improvement is one of the most staggering things because I criticised him a lot before because I just didn't think he had. It sounds harsh to say football intelligence, but he just never made the runs at all. He always just like there'd be an overlapping run and he just stands still, and it didn't look like anything was going to happen. He'd been in the club for 5 years, and it didn't look like it was going to happen, but. This season, he's just been so good, and I'm so happy to be wrong about him, to be honest. And I think Ollie's coached him really well, and Telles coming in has definitely helped as well.
Oh, 100%. Telles coming in has made him like competition. That's why I'm Aaron Wan-Bissaka needs competition, because now he knows that he's going to play every game because we haven't got another right back. So he knows even if he doesn't play well, he knows every game he's going to be in. So once we get a different right back, you might see him start performing because he knows there's someone there that can be there to take his spot.
It's that looking over your shoulder thing, right? Like I find that Shaw, as soon as he had Telles come in, every time he's had competition. Remember when Brandon Williams was kind of fighting for that position, and then Shaw got better last year. He's always so when he started to really break through. It was back when we had Memphis Depay. I remember him and Memphis. They looked really good on the left hand side, and they had a good friendship too outside of the game. And then he broke his leg, which was. Clearly what derailed him for a bit because it hurt his fitness. He's not one of those guys. He's got every athlete, every body type, every person has a different type of body. Right?
He's got a kind of big type.
He's like a bigger set dude. He's like a Rooney, right? These guys need to be doing something all the time or they put on weight. They need to be training, eating well. So that's why you see pictures when people are like, oh, look at Shaw in the summer. He's out of weight. He's fat. It's like, nah, man, it's just not training.
Exactly.
He'll still run you down. He'll still run 5K faster than anybody who's
he's very fast though. He's very fast though.
He'll still do it. It's just his body is like I'm on
One shot.
vacation, bro. Like, so that's why I always found it bad when people would do that, and they would.
Yeah, he gets a lot of criticism about his weight on Twitter. People always talking about weight with Luke Shaw, always.
But
people nicknamed him James Corden, didn't they?
Yeah.
But
Hero tier.
he's fast. He's been working well on the overlaps. He's now
putting in good crosses as well.
He's become the main free kick taker on that left side, like over Bruno. Did you not notice last game he was taking?
Yeah. He does take free kicks now. Yeah, and he takes corners.
Not free kicks. Sorry, corners.
He takes corners on corners. But he does take some free kicks as well. I've seen him take some free kicks from.
No, but he became the corner guy, and I was surprised. I remember being like, "Is Bruno off the pitch?" But it was Luke Shaw taking them, which credit to him again. He's been one of our players of the season, and I would like to see something from him. Like in the future, I don't want to see him play tomorrow because he needs to be rotated. And I think him and Telles rotating is going well. Yeah. I think Telles is handling it well. There's been nothing for it's actually Telles is probably one of my favorite players to watch on the bench. When we score and when we do well, he's like,
he gets excited. Yeah.
Like,
I've seen that.
You need those veterans in your team.
Yeah.
Who can sit on the bench.
For a game like this as well, we've got so many players like that have so much passion because Telles, Cavani, Bruno, obviously Rashford, Kareem. I mean, I'm just naming the whole team basically. McTominay. It's for years we lack this. Well, for years we watch games and go, they don't look like they really care. There's not any leaders, but suddenly you look at the team and Cavani is a leader and he's so passionate and he gets it. And Telles and Van der Beek. I mean, have you seen how Van der Beek reacts when we score goals?
Yeah. His celebrations are funny. He's funny. He's funny when he celebrates.
Pretty funny. I like. He's one of those dudes who I find when he like jumps to celebrate on a guy, I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself. Like he gets like in the air. Like he's genuinely just as happy for players to score than like he looks to just make an impact on every play he can, which is what I like about him. Whether it's an assist, whether it's a goal, like he looked like he wanted a goal last game though. He had some of those shots. Like, I mean, when you hit the post, that's always depressing. But he was testing Areola every chance he could, and that's the only reason. Again, I could see him coming on if we're down. So I'm hoping there's a Liverpool mistake. But let's quickly talk about the Liverpool danger threat, and then we'll go into our score predictions. Who would we, if Liverpool play a strong side? Because obviously, if they don't, like I'm not gonna lie, I don't want Curtis. I think Curtis Jones should play. I don't want him to play because I actually think he's probably one of their best midfielders right now.
Yeah, he's good.
But who would you guys think would be their bigger threats like that we should worry about, even though like they're all kind of dead up front right now?
Still the regulars like Mane, even though they're on poor form, they're still one flash of brilliance. They can still do something. So obviously Salah, Mane, I would say obviously who else they got? Thiago's a good player if he plays. Obviously he played well against us. So I'd say them three. Obviously, their fullbacks, Robertson and Trent, they provide the width and they always put in good crosses.
What's happened to Trent?
This guy
broke his record twice this year.
Yeah,
twice this year. He broke the giving the ball away record twice.
Yeah.
He completed 0 out of 18 crosses the other night, which is just, I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
39 misplaced passes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going wrong with their team at the moment, but I love it.
It is brilliant, isn't it? I was just laughing so much when they lost to Burnley. Like, I just found it so funny.
When I look at it and I think about Salah, because I always mix it up. Obviously, he plays on the right. He'll be going up against Telles. That's who scares me the most because I watched Bowen turn Telles inside out when we played against West Ham. I remember Bowen. It was like an NBA cross. It felt like he had a basketball and he just did this like thing and Telles' feet just crossed and he fell. And I was like, that's not good. That's a bad look. So I'm hoping Telles. I'm hoping we provide some cover on that side. Because that's where it's going to be needed. I'm not as worried about Mane. I think he'll get pocketed. I think AWB should be fine with him. Yeah. And we just got to make sure we're strong in the air against Firmino because he can't score a goal with his feet right now.
Nah, he's terrible.
I think you made an interesting point a minute ago about Curtis Jones, actually, because I don't know if you guys remember, but, well, you probably will because it was really funny, but Arsenal were losing every game like last month or so.
Yeah,
And then they brought in a couple of younger players and their form's picked up. And I wonder Curtis Jones coming in might be the best thing Klopp can do, because it might just, it's a different player in there. And he is a really great player, really talented young player. And it could just lift them a bit, because it looks so stale, doesn't it, their team now? And you look at Arsenal, they brought in a few young players and they actually look like they can win some football matches now. And I think Klopp really should look to Curtis Jones.
It's weird the way Liverpool bought this summer. I mean, outside of Jota, who I think is class, and Thiago.
They're missing Jota.
Both Jota and Thiago were both great signings, but I never quite understood the Samiskas, or what, I can't say his name, that Greek dude.
The left back.
Yeah. I don't get your Liverpool football club. And your backups are kind of unplayable. You think of Minamino. Everybody was talking about, Minamino. I remember people were saying we're going out spending 45-50 million on Bruno, and we got Minamino who's going to be
done
better.
Nothing.
And
he hadn't even played really.
I'm this guy played for RB Salzburg.
Yeah.
He's never gonna be good enough. I don't get when top teams are in that position to strengthen, because when you're at the top, you need to strengthen, and you don't go and get. I want players to either cool. If you think you're good enough that you should be playing and you're disgruntled like a Donny van de Beek, cool, that's fine. Because when you come in, then you're quality. You're supposed to be class. If you're a Tellus and you when you look at our left back situation, there's no better pairing of left backs in the league, right? There's no at the current moment, there's no better pairing of attacking options up front, especially when you switch a Cavani and Martial. Yes, Martial's been bad this year, but I look across a Chelsea who should have had more depth there.
Exactly.
They don't. They're struggling. You look at City, Jesus is trash. I'm sorry. I'm done with the Jesus argument. So without Aguero, they're not great. So you really look at United and what Ollie's been doing. It's just we don't have a second team. We just have a 1B. We have a team of players who, when it comes down to it, is at any moment should be able to beat any team in the league. That's why we need that right.
It's even the goalkeepers as well.
Exactly,
We've even got two brilliant goalkeepers. I mean, Chelsea have had to bring Petr Cech out of retirement.
They have. Yeah.
No, Petr Cech, he was part of the squad. I remember when he actually was part of the squad, and you're sitting there being like, wait, that would probably be the most comedic. That would be the best thing ever. I'm sorry. That would actually
technical director, and he has to be player as well. That's crazy.
Right? So
it's a sign their depth isn't great, isn't it? And then we're just sat here with Henderson and De Gea, but it's brilliant.
And we got Romero we're getting rid of.
Yeah, Romero legitimately.
I'm kind of the team right now.
Chelsea should have bought Romero. Were they?
I don't know if we would have sold to him though. I don't know if we would have sold to Chelsea.
No, we probably wouldn't have, but they should. I'm sure if Chelsea was here's 30 mil for Romero,
depends on
would have been you know
probably.
what? You know what? It might help you guys out, but 30 mil for Romero sounds nice.
Because he's been a good keeper for us.
He's better than Mendy, in my opinion. He's better.
Yeah. He'll be first choice at most teams. Majority of teams in the Prem. Other than Edison and Alisson, I think he's probably better than every other keeper in the Prem.
Yeah,
great. So I actually forgot about the goalkeepers. I do think Hendo is going to start tomorrow. I think Ollie's trying his best to keep Hendo.
That's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, because it's a cup game. He will start, won't he?
You have to give him a start, because otherwise he's going to want to leave.
Yeah, because you want him to be happy, because listen, we understand he's not. I'm going to say it right now with my chest. Anybody who knows me knows David De Gea is probably one of my favorite players. Hendo's not nearly as good. He's just not yet. It's just not there yet. He's good. He was brilliant at Sheffield United, but
that's different there.
It's still not. He's not David De Gea. When David De Gea is on form, he's a different sauce, man. He's a different breed.
He is. He saved us for the last 7-8 years. He's been great since he's bailed us out so many times over the years.
These goalkeepers
against Arsenal when he saved about 1 million shots.
14.
Yeah. And Tottenham. There was Arsenal Tottenham game where he made 12 saves in each match or something like that. When he's on form.
Did you see how depressed? I remember when Alexis Sanchez thought he had a goal. David De Gea It was just
he double save. I think it was Lacazette that had the shot.
It was Lacazette first. Sanchez comes in. It was a tap-in. It should have been a tap-in, and Sanchez just stood there.
Got to that.
Yeah.
It was just yo, we're not scoring today. That's it. Like,
He was literally stood there like, what am I actually meant to do now? Like, this guy's not moving, you know?
it's like this guy's a cat. But I would love to see Hendo have a great game.
Of course,
Again,
of course.
being a hometown dude, hometown lad who understands the rivalry. If he could come in and make a match-winning save or do something crazy, that would just be nice. It'd be a nice lift. But he hasn't been loud this year, and I like that. There's been no noise about, oh, I want to be the number one. He got his money. He got his extended contract. He fully understands the situation. It's like, David De Gea is probably our keeper for the next 2 years, man, but you're 21. Like, David De Gea is 30-something. Eventually, it's going to be your team, and it's going to be your team for 10 years. Like, you're a keeper. It's not going to be your team for 3, 4, 5. That's it. You're locked. You're locked
forever. We don't need another keeper. If he gets to the potential that he needs to be, you won't need to buy another keeper after.
No, you won't buy another keeper. You'll be safe. No. You'll have another young kid, hopefully, in the wings somewhere.
Yeah.
Just putting a little pressure, because the same with Luke Shaw and the same with what we're saying with AWB, David De Gea snapped out of it as soon as it was like, by the way, he just got 110K a week.
He's come back.
So he's going to be playing. Cool. So
yeah, we could be sorted for 15 years with him. I mean, if he's good.
Yeah, of course.
Our back five, including the keeper, obviously, if once we buy a new center back, could be set for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Like, it could like, Maguire's not going anywhere, nor should he. You get the right center back beside him, and then you have a proper 4 center back rotation with him, by Lindelof, and whoever the new center back is.
What do you think about Axel Tuanzebe? What would you do with him then?
So this is the problem with Axel, and I think he might actually play. That's a good shout. He might actually play. The problem with Axel is his injuries. It hasn't allowed him to get consistent time. So you can't. I think he has great games, and I think he has bad games. And I think to truly become a great center back or become a great player in any position, you need consistency, and you have to be playing. But if you're consistently hurt, and then there are better, like, I think Bailly and Axel are very similar, and Bailly's better, right? Yeah. So Ollie doesn't do this whole like, I'm trying to get people time because there's potential or whatnot. Ollie plays whoever the best player is. That's what he does. It's very clear. The only time he dropped a player who's been the best player was Pogba. And it was because we had so many good, like, midfielders in form. Like, when Fred's playing a certain way, or McTominay, you got to give them time. But I like how he's reverted and has not gone with McFred for every game now. He's like, cool, Pogba and Bruno.
Yeah, it's good. The Fulham game, he didn't do it. I was expecting to see them against Fulham, but he didn't. I was happy with that. I want to see it more. Don't want to see them playing every match.
And they shouldn't. But to Ollie's credit, this is where he's a great manager and a great manager in general. They were in form when they were playing all those games in a row. The record, I think our record was like they'd won 75% of our games. As a midfield pairing. So
because Pogba was injured, because Pogba wasn't playing them times.
Like, Ollie at that point can't be like, I'm just gonna bring Pogba on. Yeah, because you've got to wait till everything plays out the way it has, which is what I love. So, score predictions, fellas.
It's a hard one. Let's see.
It's really hard to predict because we have no idea who's going to play for either team. You know, we've got to win. I'm going to
go 2-1 United. 2-1. We're going to take 2-1. That's what I'm thinking.
I'll go 2-0, and I think Greenwood is going to score, and I think Cavani's going to score, and we'll just send Jurgen Klopp into a meltdown, and it's just going to be a really, really brilliant thing. Just to see them
Ollie down the tunnel.
Would love that.
Bro, what was he doing with Sean Dyche? When I saw him chasing Sean Dyche,
Sean Dyche would have killed him. He don't want to fight against him.
I was going to say you would not want to fight Sean Dyche.
Nah, I don't want to fight him. He looks strong.
So my prediction is actually 1-1 penalties. United.
Ooh.
Dino.
That would annoy Klopp so much.
That would be beautiful.
Or if we got a penalty in the match, he'll be furious. If we score a penalty, the winner.
We didn't lose the game though. We went to penalties, and penalties is anybody's game, and anybody could have won penalties. And it's what it is. You know, the referees and blah blah blah. Anyway,
always an excuse for that guy.
Anyway, with that, boys, I'm gonna end the stream. You guys were great. Thanks for coming on. Definitely have you back for the review. Anybody watching, we got a bunch of people watching live right now. Like, subscribe. Constant content from us, you know, match day reviews, previews, the community talks with Robbie. there's going to be a transfer talk series, but there hasn't been any transfer news really, so it's not much to talk about, right? But take care, guys, and I'll see everybody tomorrow probably or Monday.
Later.
Peace.
See you later.